Virgin Galactic was up last night in extended traded hours. This morning we had a gap up, but today's a different story. Before we get into the charts, let's look at this article from CBS News. Virgin Galactic's first commercial flight to space is days away from taking off. Virgin Galactic's commercial flights to space are getting ready to lift off. The company announced on Thursday that it's just days away from sending private astronauts on its first flight, Galactic 01, beyond the reams of Earth. The company's second commercial flight, Galactic 02, is planned to depart just over a month later in the beginning of August. After those two flights, Virgin Galactic said it is hoping to launch commercial space flights on a monthly basis. Now, more than 800 tickets for these flights have already been sold. Now, what did it cost to be a selected member of tourism in space? Well, just applying for the opportunity requires a $10,000 temporary credit card authorization. And if you are approved and committed to the flight, there's a $150,000 deposit before the flight. Participants must pay an additional $300,000 to bring the total cost of spending a few minutes in space to $450,000. Now, for those who don't know, Richard Branson, who owns Virgin Galactic, was one of the few who experienced the launch that summer. Talking about last summer of 2021, when he flew to more than 50 miles above Earth for a weightless view of the planet. So the other thing that's blasting off from Earth was the stock this morning. However, the blast off has been short-lived. We're going to go right to the weekly chart. And what you can see is we have a major resistance support band at the $6 level, which is why this morning we're selling off after the gap up. Nevertheless, the lows have been put in at roughly $3. So that's bullish for any of the bears who own this stock. The fundamentals suggest if they can have a successful flight later this month, look for price to break and breach and close above the resistance support band. Let's go to the daily chart. Before we do that, let's go to the weekly chart, just to see how high price was at once upon a time. Now, when they went public in 2001, I was able to get in. I rode it all the way up from the teens to about 40. Sold out at the low 30s. But we can see price had reached an all-time high of $62. So a breach above the $6 level. Let's just put in some targets. You have $8, $10. Let's go to the weekly chart, the daily chart. So you can see what I mean. So we gapped up higher, and 4 to 6, that's about a 50% increase. Got some profit taken, makes sense, right? Price hits this resistance support band and it's selling off. Question is, are we going to fill the gap? It is June 16th, so we have roughly 2 weeks before the first space tourism flight takes place. It's hard to say. I believe that Virgin Galactic is a quote-unquote meme stock, so it all depends. It depends on the short-term short interest, which will also play a factor, retail investors. But as you can see, price has been range-bound for the better half of 8 months. However, the chart suggests The bottoms are in. Let's put this in green, orange. As you can see, the price action has been sideways. We've been here once. This is the second time. Again, if we can see a successful flight later this month, a breakout is inevitable. Again, breakout above $6 for short-term targets at $8 and then $10. $8, you'll have a close to a gap fill, and $10. That's where we had a lot of trading and was the origin of the leg down from 11 to 6. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.